Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Dennis. Welcome to Patina Code. This is So You Want to Build an AD.
I'm cold right now, I'm done. Come on.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in for this edition of So You Want to Build an AD, powered by LS Fabrication. And this is episode 4, not 8, 4. And we're going to make our way to episode 8. We got a lot of stuff to cover today, and we're just going to do some basic things. But before we get into this video, I just want to have a moment of noise for Eddie Van Halen. He was an awesome rocker, man. Awesome rocker. So today, what we got going on? Make no mistake about this. This is extremely dangerous. And even though I've done it a few times, it's a severe risk to be taking. And I'm anticipating the time when I can start laying and getting in place the LS Fabrication firewall panels and toe board panels. But before I can do that, I have the rear cab corners, the inside cab corners, to put on this truck. And the best way to do that is get this truck on its nose and then stand there and do the cutting, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna lay on my back and cut all that out and then weld it back in place. And there's no way in hell I'm gonna do that once I have my badass speed rolled fabricated panels in place. So today we are working on inner cab corners. We had decent cab corners on the outside, but the inner cab corners were just toast. They were rotten. And being that I take the vehicles out no matter the weather and drive them, we need this sealed off. Plus, we're going to have those badass LS Fabrication speaker panels right back here in the cab corner. So you don't want water and debris getting up in there if you're going to have speakers with live wires back here behind you. So right away you can see that this is all rusted and curdled out. I've done the one on the passenger side just to give you a look at how it's going to come out. But over here, what we're going to do is cut right up here on the top of this archway, because there's a rotten spot right here, and there's no need in trying to patch that when we can just cut across the top. They give you enough piece of a patch panel to put it back just like it was from the factory. So the floor is solid, and it's going to be able to take the weld from me putting heat to the patch panel and this old part of the floor. Just want to make sure you got your welder set right, and you're going to want to travel with the travel speed. Make sure you're penetrating your welds. I'm going to get to work on this, and then you'll get a look at the second inner cab corner. What you want to do is take your metal scribe and scribe your lines. So after you have your line scribed, you want to definitely cut just a little above the scribed line. It's easier to take metal off of the patch panel instead of trying to weld extra piece of metal here and then join the panel. Cut short and you're in trouble. But if you cut it just a little bigger than what it's supposed to be, and taking in account the size of your cutting wheel, then you can always shave off a little bit at a time from the patch panel. So we're going to cut above our scribe line and then get our panel put in place, and then we're going to put a few tacks on to get it held up. So I'm going to give you a look at how I went about doing the passenger side. So luckily, the cab corners that were put on the truck were new. The rocker panels were new, but they did not put new inner cab corners on there. As you know, they are important. At least to me, they are important, but they should be important to any build that keeps the dirt and debris out. So what we're doing here is we're cutting out the old, on this side of the floor, the archway area and the floor leading back to the end of this inner cab corner were solid. So we didn't have to cut up above where I'm cutting at right here. So we cut right there on that factory seam, and we get the old piece out of the way and make room to start mocking up the patch panel. So the patch panel was cut down to fit this exact cut that I'm making here. After establishing the proper fit, do a little trimming, make sure it's going to fit snug, and then we go back and chamfer the edges from where we cut the original cab corner out, clean up the metal to promote good adhesion with the welder, and then we begin the job. Whenever possible, when I'm joining panels together, I like to use my body clamps, provide myself with the proper gap, and clamp things down tight. We got a wide open working area, so my body clamps are going to work perfect in here, and we're going to get down some real heavy tack welds to hold this thing in place, and then we'll go back and tack it again, and then we'll join the tacks by running seams between each one of the tacks. But before we can join the seams on the tacks, we got to do a little bit of mending, and I work unconventionally. We have a framing hammer here, you see, and this is a spot that you're not going to see, so the little ribs that I might put in the metal from plenishing it doesn't really matter. We're going to run our seams over top of them, and everything will be perfectly fine. But I like to use the heat from the welding process to make sure I can get the metal laid out flat. And it's not distorted or anything from the heat, but it's just my way of making sure that everything is still laying in the proper format that we have it set out here. Now, before we join the tack welds together with the final seams, we're going to check the fitment by putting our cab corner back over the top, and it looked pretty good. And now, while we got this thing flipped up like this, there's one more spot that I need to do before I can set this thing back down, and there's a big crack right here, and the seat pedestal is on the other side of that, so I body worked it back flat, and now the gapping is there, which is perfect for the 35 thousandths weld wire. And then I need to re-weld the pedestal to the floor on top. The surface of this floor looks a lot worse than what it really is. It's just a lot of surface rust. Once cleaned back, you have really good solid thick metal to work with, and welding this stuff together is a breeze. Have to take the time and know where you're going to be putting the welds, have everything cleaned off, and then put fire to it. So that was just a short look at a little bit of stuff that we had to do. It was something simple, but it needed to be done. Inner cab corners are very important if you plan on keeping the inside of your truck dry. Right now I'm standing in front of trench coat here, and you can see, you're getting a look at the future episodes of So You Want to Build an AD. We've done a lot of stuff to this truck, but coming up in the next episode, we are going to tackle the floor pans, and man, it's a mess. It's a mess, but we're going to get it straightened out, get the rocker straightened out, and it's going to be a pretty good episode. It'll definitely be a lot longer than this one here. I'm going to leave you guys with a video of Zero, which is my bare metal 1956 Task Force pickup truck. It's a rat rod. We took him out, and you're also going to get a look at Rat Body 2, which is a truck that I built with my dad. Just finished it just this March of this year, and we got to go out. We had a recent car show, and we were able to go up there, and it was a good car show. A lot of cars turned out. It was Rusttoberfest. It's a yearly thing when all the patina rods, rat rods, rust rods come down, and it was a really nice show, and it was really cool to cruise with my dad. So we'll leave you guys with that video, and definitely you guys check out the podcast. Check out my store on Eckwood, patinacode LLC.eckwood.com. Get you some apparel, and you need to use your 10% discount on the LS Fabrication bead rolled sheet metal products that they produce. That's what we got going on here. But this is future episodes. Like I say, you're getting a look at the future right now. I appreciate you guys out there, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying these episodes, and I'm going to keep putting them out. There's more to come. Stay with me.
So I creep up on your ass. See how the beat is building, I creep up on it. Let me show y'all what the fuck I mean.
I just have to drive fancy car. They keep on looking to see boy who we are. The new superstar.
I got that flip-flop paint on my Ram L thing dog. The nose on my hood, just like my ride stay pistol. I roll through your hood, they ask me do my car lift though. Like if it was made out of space for 20s.